Speak more about what it is that has women feeling self-conscious in the first place. Like, because we're so lacking in confidence. So many of us, like, whether it's childhood stuff, whether it's like you've got to be really skinny in the news and you've got to eat these granola bars and nothing else. And it's just we've learned all this nonsense from media. And I'm just like, yeah, like I'm sure you've got a lot of women like kind of just telling you how they feel. Like, why aren't we confident to begin with?
I deeply believe it's because we have not gone on the journey to discover our true identity.
Mm,
And that's going to sound like probably one of the most generic statements I could say, but hear me out. A part
okay.
of active and attractive is discovering your world and recognizing the value you're supposed to bring the world.
Mm,
So I realize that my clients who are extremely successful, no matter how long it takes, they finally cross the finish line after a set amount of time. Those clients versus the ones who somehow just can't make it. I had to sit with myself and be like, what's the difference? We're all doing the same thing. The lack of confidence came from their inability to see how important they are to the world.
mm,
They just couldn't see it. And
mm,
the only way you can see how important you are to the world is to recognize what do you bring to the table? Are
mm.
you comfortable with the fact that you're the loud one that rallies everybody together, that brings so much energy to the room
Yeah,
because someone told you to get smaller?
yeah,
Or can you appreciate that you are the quiet one, that when you cause people to lean in and ask deeper questions,
yeah,
can you respect that about yourself?
yeah,
Most of our characteristics when we were little, like you said, were told that that's not good enough.
yeah.
So
Mm,
then we function from that place rather than our truth. And when
mm,
we don't know what our truth is, we're living like everybody else but ourselves. And so that means the actions we take ends up building things like everyone else. So we're
mm,
essentially building a world around us that doesn't even truly look like what we really want. And
mm,
we're constantly reinforced that who we are inside isn't enough. And we feel that dissatisfaction every day. So
mm.
it keeps us in a loop of self-consciousness. And then the day we finally break out, it feels scary as feels so freaking horrific because it
Uh,
feels like you're going against the grain, but that's what we want.
yeah.
And so inside of active and attractive, I teach something called world building because I
Okay.
realize this missing piece, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many health practices I give you. If I told you to exercise and I gave you the perfect golden plan on what to eat, if
Yeah.
you do not have a strong sense of identity, you're going to be the person that doesn't follow through on the plan, and it's going to reinforce that self-consciousness.
Yes.
Develop a section of the brand where we focus just on identity.
This is very powerful.
So,
Keep
yeah.
going. Yeah, keep going.
Well, I was going to say, so when you partner identity with health, you have your identity, you bring your health together, right? When you know who you are, what skill sets you bring, that very unique style that you have, the thoughts and philosophies and stories you carry, you partner that with your health practices, including conversational health,
Hmm.
social health, occupational health, business health. You combine healthy things with who you are, and boom, this is where you have something that I call your presence.
Mm,
When you are congruent with your identity and you know every table you stand at, you might seem different, you might seem the same as them, but you will bring what you bring. You partner that with health, meaning you're taking care of yourself.
yeah.
That amplifies your presence, which creates such a magnetic aura. And this is what I say, there's those people that walk into a room and you're like, who is she? Who is that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling something on her. I don't know what
Yes.
it is. I'm kind of intimidated. I want to talk to her. I think I don't
Yes.
that feeling of like, oh my God, what's her presence? Your presence is the part of you that speaks before you ever open your mouth.
Burn.
That's what happens when a leader has health and identity together. And that's just one of three pieces that create the
Wow.
perfect leader.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's what I believe the self-consciousness is we haven't really spent time diving into what are your true gifts, what's your internal culture, how would you really prefer the world? How would you really prefer your world?
Mm,
Process where I walk women through. It's so freaking fun. It's like this really fun, playful, creative thing. I've run dozens of women through it. And they've got like pictures posted on their wall because
right.
visual. And
Totally.
they've just said that this sense of identity they didn't think they were allowed to have. And I think that's the nature of self-consciousness is us not feeling like we're allowed to have or be who it is that we want to be.
Girl, y'all need to sign up with Samantha, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, like y'all all need to sign up with Samantha.